So I'm just going to show EMR with this. Okay. So you will understand you can do practice your own EMR also. Okay. So but here we have to follow their instructions because this is course lab. Okay. So this one, if they are saying the bucket should be named with this, so we have to create a bucket with this name. So first we log in the cluster, okay, in the account. Okay. So here you have to create a bucket. Okay, so you have to create a S3 bucket. We have to create S3 bucket. So so this means so we are creating a bucket S3 bucket. So we have to create bucket. We have created the bucket. So whatever region you are doing, so you can create a bucket in that region. Okay. Next is we are saying to upload these files. Okay. So this actually here are the two examples. One is a EMR serverless and one is a EMR studio, right? Without serverless. Okay. So serverless, we don't need any cluster. Okay. The cluster will be automatically handled by the like from the AWS. But when we are using without serverless, so the other option is we need a cluster. Okay. So they have created two py files. Okay. This is a two PySpark job. So in the serverless in this one, both are having a similar type of code. The only difference is here in this one, the output is saving in the one WC output serverless folder. Okay. So when we will run a job as a serverless, then the output will come after the running job. The output will come in the WC output serverless. But when the Spark job is running normally with the EMR cluster, so it will be WC out. Okay. So that is the difference between the here serverless code and this code. Only this output folder is different. Okay. And this is input file. They are doing the word count. By using the Spark, they are doing the word count. So this is simple PySpark code, how to do word count, right? We know this code, right? We are reading the file, we are applying the flat map. Okay, we are applying the flat map and then we are applying the map to giving each word is a one count and then we are applying the reduce by key, all the word aggregation we are doing and final word count we are writing. Okay, so this one is the word count program and we are reading the file from the S3 file location. So this is the same bucket location because my file is in the same bucket. Okay? And my output folder will be also in the same bucket I'm going to create. So this code I'm going to upload. So they have given this code. Okay, so I downloaded this code. I will in this folder. These are the three files. So I'm uploading these three files. Mm, These files are uploaded in S3 bucket. Okay. So our next step is one, they are saying create a logs folder because we want to generate the logs in my S3 bucket. So here we create we have to create a folder in our S3 bucket, logs folder. I created a logs folder in my S3 bucket. Next is we have to create the roles. Okay. So once this is done, next is we are going to create a role. Okay, I will give this all documentation. Okay, to create IAM role. So how many roles we need? So first role is create IAM role for the EMR cluster. Okay. So if we go to role, role. So here you will select EMR. Okay. So they are saying we are creating the create role and this is the type of this is they are saying that we can just use this policy. Okay, so this policy we can add. Okay, in the add permission we can add and we can keep it. The role name is EMR role. Okay. Mm, they are saying different way to take it. This is in this way. Here, so you have to add this JSON part. So next is we have to search the service policy, AWS EMR service policy. We have to add and the role name they are giving. This role name we can give anything, but here we have to give the same one because this is instruction is given. So this is the one role we create. One role is the EMR role we created. Second role for the EMR is going to access EC2 instance. So we need another role for the Amazon EMR for EC2 permission we need. So this time when we are creating a role, we are selecting EC2. Selecting EC2 here. And we will add the policy EMR EC2. Okay, so this policy will add and we'll keep it the role name is EMR EC2 role. This is the EMR role. And the second role we created EMR EC2 role. So this role, these two role we need. Another role for the serverless. Let's create this one also. So this serverless is the same like the first one. Okay. The difference is this is the EMR role and this last one is the EMR serverless one. Oh, okay. So this is the EMR serverless. So we create another third role, same this way, and we have to copy this JSON. We are adding the service. Which service we are going to access? The principal. Okay. So this one next thing. We are adding the EMR serverless S3 access policy. Okay. And here what we added? Here is we added AWS EMR service policy. Okay. So just we are adding this policy. Our all three roles are clear. Okay. So this one role name is EMR serverless S3 runtime role. These roles we will use in the creating EMR cluster. We will use it. So we will use these three roles. Next is now we are coming to the EMR cluster, right? Now we are going to create an EMR cluster. So we will search your first thing is that okay, they are saying the keep it name of the cluster. Create cluster. Create a cluster and keep it cluster configuration MX M5X large. Okay, primary and core node. Okay. Click the remove instance group in the task one. We will need one primary and one core. So they are saying no need to use task node. So even we can keep it used, but for this particular lab, we are not doing. So we add the services, Cube, Spark, and Hadoop. Okay, okay. So we M5X large is already coming. So it's by default comes. So you don't we don't need to select any other one. And this core node also M5X large, but task node, okay.
Arvind?
Yeah.
I think somebody is waiting. Can you see? They can let them in. Somebody is waiting. Mohan.
We can use it the same configuration, but if you don't want to use, so remove instance, remove task instance. Okay. Next is networking section. Okay, this is the main important section because here is mostly problem comes with the VPC. Okay, so in the networking section, okay, they are saying next the subnet. Okay, make the default subnet and public subnet should be there. Okay, so public subnet should be there. So here, if we go to the networking section, so here is a VPC it's using. Okay, already we have. So some default VPC we can create. Our own VPC we can create. If you want to create a VPC, it's a very simple process. Like just you go here, create VPC, and you can click on the create VPC. And here you can give some suffix like it is already taking by default name is project. Okay, if you give something like project one, So here it will change. Okay. So everything you keep it same as it is. Only thing is this VPC endpoint, you keep it none. Okay. This VPC endpoint, you keep it none. So after this create VPC, it will create one VPC with 4 subnet, 2 public, 2 private. Okay. And like if you are using the US East region, so one will be US East 1A, US East 1A, the private one, and public one will be 1B, 1B, like 1B, one public and one private in both the zone. Okay. So 2 zones are there, US East 1 and US East 1B, right? So in both the zones, one public, one private, one public, one private. And similar way, it will create a one route table. Okay. So this all it automatically create because it is showing the complete structure and just you create. Okay. So I'm not creating here, but I'm saying like if you don't have the VPC, so you can create this way, default VPC you can create. After that, what you have to do, you have to select your browse here. Your VPC will be appearing here. Okay. Like this. It will be appearing like this. But when you are selecting the subnet, so make sure you should have the public subnet. Okay. So that's important thing here. So always select the first region, the first zone, US East 1A. Suppose you have US East 1A, 1B. Okay. So select for the subnet, public subnet of the first one, first step. Okay. So I choose the public one. Okay. So whatever you create VPC, you will get automatically those subnets here. Okay. You can select. Okay. After the next option. Okay. So this is the, we selected US East 1A availability zone. We selected default subnet. Okay. Now next is saying under the cluster termination section, uncheck the user termination protection policy. User termination protection policy. So here, this one unchecked. Okay. So protect your EC2 instance from the accidental termination. So it will ask, right? If you want to use it, if you check it, it will ask confirmation. Okay. So protect your EC2 instance from the accidental termination. So if you want to allow or not. Okay. So if it is like you can keep it on here, but here the instruction is given. But if you keep it on, it will ask you confirmation. So it will be avoiding your accidental removal of that, right? Suppose by mistake you click on the terminate cluster. So immediately it will not be taking confirmation. But if you use this check mark, so in that case, it will, you have to, one flag is there, you have to make it off to on. Then it will do, okay. So for your on one, you can do check mark, check. So that's not a big issue. We can use a check mark check. Okay, but here they are saying so, but the purpose is to it will take your confirmation, then only, then it will delete. Okay. So this is a 1 hour idle time, right? Like if after 1 hour, it will automatically terminate it, right? So this is taking and manually terminated you want to do. So you can select this option, otherwise automatically is a 1 hour, and you can increase the number of days and hour. Okay, number of days and 1 hour, 2 hour, like that you can. Okay. So here, other thing is cluster lock setting. The cluster lock setting is this publish the cluster specific lock to S3. So we have already given a S3 location. We will use our same S3 location. So we will browse our bucket, this bucket and logs folder. So we'll give this logs folder. So our own specific bucket we want to do the logs to store. Okay. Next thing is here. Generally, whenever you are using your own EMR, so you can give here the key pair, and you can use the same key pair you have created for EC2, or you can create a new key pair also. Okay. So key pair, whatever you use, like you are using for EC2, the same key pair will be also showing in the same list. Okay. Okay. But this here they are not allowing. to create key pair because this is we are directly running job. So if we key pair that didn't mention, but if you use the key pair to connect to your EMR, so give you can select your existing key pair or you can create a new key pair. Okay. And this is the role we created. Okay. So now we are going to take our existing service role. If we check here, our EMR role is there. And if we check our instance profile role, that is EMR EC2 role. Okay. So this is the EC2 instance profile, and this is the Amazon EMR service role. Okay. So these two roles we have to select what we have created before. And now finally we have to click on the create cluster. Okay, so this cluster is going to start. Takes 5 minutes for you. So we have to add one step to run a job. Actually, there are two ways to run job. Okay, one is like once your EMR cluster will be here, so you will get here primary node. Okay, and you will get a SSH connection here. Okay, generally we get the SSH connection, and then we can connect our key pair, right? And we can connect that master node and we can run the job on the Spark submit command. So that is a one way. Okay, so here they have not allowed that one. The second option is we will go with this way, like step. So once our EMR cluster is ready, we will add one step here, add step. And this add step is giving what type of application you want to run. So this step is like if we don't have access of our key pair, okay, we don't have any access of EMR cluster key pair. In that case, we go with this step, add step. So add step, you can choose what type of application you want to run. So in our case, our application is a Spark application. I can give my application name. I can give add step, and I can give my application name is a Spark application. Okay, that is a type of name. Select Spark application type. This one we have done, and name it word count. So word count and choose cluster mode for the deployment mode of. Enter the name. The cluster mode is coming automatically. Already selected cluster mode. So cluster mode I already told, right? Cluster mode is when you are taking data from like in the cluster, right? Hadoop Spark, Hadoop cluster, right? You are running driver program running in the application master yarn. So that is a cluster mode, and client mode is when the driver is running locally in your same machine. So run your driver on the primary node itself as an external client. So that is your client. Cluster mode when it is running in the yarn application master in the Hadoop mode. So that is your cluster mode. Now we have to provide either a script location or jar location. So this is my PySpark code, and PySpark code I need my script location, right? So I have to give my, because in the PySpark code there is no jar file, okay? Because Scala code, Spark Scala code has the jar file, okay? And here I have to select my, this is my word count.py, this is my PySpark code, okay? So I have given my code location. And if you have some parameter, optional parameter, because whatever parameter you give here, it will be passed to your Spark submit, okay? So basically you are not submitting your job with your own Spark submit. You are providing the parameter for your Spark submit, and this particular step mode will submit a job. Okay. So here, if you have some additional parameter is there, like some parameter, like you have some, so you can pass it here. Okay. Under the action, continue. Refresh. See our cluster during the starting meeting. So your job is depend on this cluster. This step I added, but this step will work once your cluster is ready. Our cluster should come in the waiting state here. The starting means if the initial state is a start and then waiting. So generally for SSH connection, right? If you want to connect to your primary node, so when we click on this, like this, you will get, if you have your key pair, we don't have this key pair, but generally this is the sample they give in. So here they are saying like whatever your key pair file, you can do SSH. I have already shown right how to connect with the key pair. So similar way you can connect your EMR master node. And once you connect EMR master node, that node you have to do Spark submit command. So you should have some or S3 file you can do Spark submit. You can simply do Spark submit command, right? You can say Spark -submit, and then your py file is there in the S3 bucket. So you have S3:// you have a bucket bucket. Okay. And this bucket has some that file word count.py, word count.py, and it will be taking any parameter. It's not taking any parameter. It is reading directly from the S3. So you have to run this command because the default client mode or cluster mode, right? So here you don't need to pass. So if you want to pass, there is a master is there. Another parameter you can pass. Master beyond deployment mode. Okay, so if you run this one in your EMR master node, you have to run this to EMR master node. Okay. EMR master node, first of all, you have to do SSH connection. No. You have to do SSH connection. You have to do SSH connection. This SSH connection to your EMR master node. So you should have key pair. So you should make sure you are using the key pair, existing key pair you are using for your connection. Otherwise, you have not allowed. If you have not selected key pair, so you can't connect. Okay, you have to find your key pair, which key pair you want to connect. So you connect it, and then after you will come to the master node, EMR master node terminal, EMR terminal, and this command you have to run on your terminal for submitting a job. So this is a manual way, right? You are doing, but what we have done here, that is not manual. This is where we are adding a step. So now it's showing in the waiting state. Let's see. stack. The job got failed. Okay, let's see. Where is the logs created? Logs is in our S3 bucket. Task where the cluster with any new thing. Like if people in the step of the interface. Has run the job. This is the last time. So it is giving the error here. Interesting. submitting the cloud. You guys try this one. I'm showing you serverless. Okay. You try serverless. So serverless is easy one. Okay. So EMR serverless option is there in the sidebar. So if we check here the cluster, so here is the part here, non-stress studio. Okay, so this is the EMR studio. So this is launching. Okay. Here, first thing is like we have to name of the application we have to give, and we have to make sure we select the EMR, the Spark type. Okay. So this is the application name. Okay. And this is the version, this all these things. Create application. So first we have to create a one application. Okay. So here we just create application, and then we will add our one job in the application. So this is like serverless application is created. We go inside. Here is a option. We have to submit a job. So on the application page, we have a job run, the submit button. And we have to create one Spark application here. So here runtime role. This is the role which is coming. We created EMR serverless S3 runtime role, and name of the application. We have to give the name of the application. Here the job is scheduled. So here we are not worried about the cluster, right? So even if your cluster is not there, right? So it will work without directly you can start serverless. Okay. So they have background, they have the cluster, they will be submitting your job in their cluster. So this cluster job is running the backend cluster, right? That cluster we have not created. If we have to run a one-time job, suppose we have to check some output of the job, we can run through the serverless. We don't need to create a cluster. File it is using the same input file. What input file we given here in our S3 So we given this 3 the same input file. It's dot count.php file. So we just need- and now actually it takes little time in the scheduling. Now it's in the running mode. Now it's in running mode. Like in the- it started. Go to submit a job. Last time I created output at this 15. Got from serverless for PY. Check this role, this role, this role. In my serverless. Entity type serverless. So this is the type of service serverless. If this type of role is, we create here EMR, EMR serverless. So like this, we can create the role and this policy. I'm using the same role. Okay. And then I submit it. Okay, so I will share you the document. You just try it out. This how it's done. Okay. Maybe in your cluster you try. Okay. So follow in document I will give you. Send it. Okay. So this document, everything is there. Like code, you can get it from here. This is like three files are there, right? Word count.txt file. This is a txt file. You can create in the S3 bucket. Word count. First, to try normal EMR cluster, and IM role just check, right? Like the two IM role is needed. One IM role is for EMR IM role, and one is EMR EC2 IM role. The two IM role. This is for serverless, third one. And after that, you when you're creating a cluster, just you check the configuration. Okay, and specifically this BPC one. Okay, so BPC one I told, if you don't find the BPC, to create a new BPC and select that BPC and submit, public submit of this region. Okay. So whatever region you are using, if you are having a like West region, so you can choose US East 1, US West 1A. Okay, so that will be your Oregon region, right? West region. So actually, in the if you it depends, right, where your count is there. So here, I think this region, and actually so you select your which region, like US West California region or Oregon region. So you can select your region. Okay, in which region you are going to create a EM cluster. Okay. Let me give you this document. Try this one and let me know if you get any difficulty to create. And if you want to do serverless, is easy one. Just to click on serverless and just you can run and then you can see output. Okay, let me share you this document. Okay, let me. And the project specific things I will tell tomorrow. Okay, the classification of project, like which are the projects are there. Okay. Uh, I have not shared the drive. I will share today. Okay. Okay. So ping me the WhatsApp like my email ID. I believe 4 or 5 people I have. So last time I shared the drive, right? If you access that drive, I will get your email ID. Okay. The last time I given the drive, right? My drive for the some sessions, right? Okay. Access that drive, so I will. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Right.